Hey, Building.
Thanks.
In case I wasn't aware of that landmark. What kind of dumbass do you think I am? Actually, don't answer that question. That's rhetorical. That's actually a really cool shot. As the series will come back to New York with the Knicks up 2-0. Boston had a gigantic lead, and once again, they just could not buy a bucket. Tatum, Pritchard missing, Al Horford missing. Here's Jalen Brown on the shooting struggles.
We got a lot of great looks, and we just got to convert. We got to make plays. We just didn't make plays tonight, and that was the story of the game. Our defense did enough. We got some great open looks. We got to convert those.
An astounding 25 for 100 through 2 games from 3. But here, they're taking 2s and missing those. They're 0 of 10 since the 8:40 mark. Jalen Brunson puts New York in front for the first time all night. There's a bucket. Tatum to the rim. The first made field goal since the 8:40 mark of the 4th. But then after a couple of Brunson free throws, Tatum, and this is the sequence that legs broke down. Boston had a timeout, didn't take it for the second game in a row. It's Bridges that comes up clutch. For the second game in a row, Boston doesn't even attempt a shot in the final seconds as they let another lead slip through their fingers. Brian Windhorst joins us now on the program. And Brian, you've been a guest in the decade that we've done this show. You know the routine around here. We try to be reasonable, try not to overreact. Game 1 was 1 game. 20-point lead, evaporates, Knicks win, all credit to them. It's 1 game. All right, now it's 2 games. And it's not like this can just blend into the ether of a season. It's a short series and you got to win 4. The Knicks have done it twice. What do we make of these now 2 games, Brian?
Well, yeah, before I had to leave TD Garden because the fire alarm went off, and you can select your metaphor. You can have a little contest to see who's got the best one for the Celtics situation. I was in the Celtics locker room, and they don't really understand. They can't put their finger on exactly what happened. They're a little bit shell-shocked because these leads have just melted away from them. And honestly, down the stretch of this game, the Knicks were the more poised team. And when I went into the Knicks locker room, one of the things that they were talking about was just how comfortable they are in that position. Because they're like, it's okay. As long as we get it to within 5 points, within 5 minutes, we got the clutch player of the year. It's not the way you would normally think about it. Normally, you would be the underdog and you'd be down on the road and you'd be panicking. It's the inverse. And I'm not sure if that's going to continue, but it's a situation and a feeling that I've not seen before.
That's well framed. I have a hard time watching this Boston team play. And I saw a Russillo tweet to this point that you're thinking, this is a group that's won a title. And they look shook. And they look small, and they look uncertain in places where they should be the exact opposite of all those things. Now, they could go to New York on Saturday, then they could win, and the whole world looks different. But they better. I just wonder, based on watching these last 2 fourth quarters, where you stand on what you believe you'll see moving forward.
I'd like to come on here and be very strong and give you strong analysis and strong opinion on what's happening. I don't quite have a good feel for it. What I will say is the 2 Knicks wings, Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, have outplayed the 2 $300 million Celtics wings in the 4th quarter of these 2 games. The other thing I'm going to tell you is at the end of the game, Jalen Brunson wants the ball and wants the situation. He is totally comfortable doing it. Jason Tatum is not. He's not comfortable doing it. Now, he had this incredible dunk. In fact, in the Knicks locker room, one of the things that the players were talking about, the Celtics ran the same play twice in a row in the last minute. And they were just so praising Mitchell Robinson, the way he defended it differently the second time than the first time, which, enabled the Knicks to win the game. I'm not being able to form a strong opinion on what's going on. I just know that the Knicks shouldn't have the better personnel and the more confidence, but they do. Saturday afternoon at the Garden is now for the Celtics season. The Celtics, I will say this, they've won a road playoff game in 11 straight series. In 6 of those series, they've won multiple road playoff games. They are of this era, the greatest road playoff team that we have. So it is absolutely not over. But the chips are all down at the Garden on Saturday. And when I left the arena with everybody else, I left with Jalen Brunson. We were both heading for the exits. The Knicks were excited to get on the plane.
I bet they were. They stole two, and now that's as big a game.
Yeah. Just playing through the final whistle. Can't really explain it, but we just gotta give each other confidence when we go through stretches like that, and just keep fighting, keep believing.
Jalen, just walk me through your mentality in these final kind of plays, the way that you had on Monday, and then in these two plays in the final minute today. For you, mentally, how have you been so mentally strong and tough to be able to come through in those moments, even if you struggled in the first half of both games?
Yeah, it's a focus that I need to have at that moment. You can't really worry about what happened previously in the game. It's all about just focusing, having a clear mind, just trying to win the game. That's just my mindset, and I wouldn't be that way without my teammates.
For both of you, Tibbs got up here and said people always like to talk about offensive runs, but there can be defensive runs and rebounding runs. And he mentioned Josh grabbing a couple boards there in a row. How important is those things when the shots aren't falling, to just do everything else and do it at a high level? And does that turn into the offense getting to where it needs to be?
Yeah, I think so. When you're not making shots, you got to find ways to impact the game in a positive way. And, that could be an offensive rebound, kick out for another opportunity, a defensive steal to get you out in transition and on the break and get an easy bucket. And those things are momentum plays. And, they really compound and they inspire your teammates. So, that's something that we all try to do. And, we know when it gets close in the end of a game, it's a one possession game. We're very comfortable. We got Captain Clutch.
How big is for you guys to go back home with a 2-0 lead? And what can you tell me about Karl Towns' performance?
I mean, it's very important. Going home, realizing the opportunity we have, we just got to make sure we're still locked in. Nowhere close to being done. Just keep making sure our mindset is the same. And Kat, just the way he started out the game, was great for us. And just the way he's been throughout the entire season. And he's been one of the best teammates we have. And the way he gives us energy and the way he goes and gets rebounds and what he does, that's doesn't go unnoticed. And it's just the way he's been.
I thought you were tweeting, so I kept refreshing.
Oh, no, I was trying to order some Uber Eats.
You guys both talked before this season about acquiring Mikal and OG specifically because of the Boston element, because of their wings. How about the way that those two guys have been able to hold Brown and Tatum in the first two games of the series, and how important has that been?
I think it's been huge. We give obviously OG a tremendous amount of credit. Played huge for us last game. This game offensively really carried us last game, along with JB and Kel. Man, you can't say enough about his toughness and his grit, his mentality. I think he ended up with 14 points. I think he went into the fourth with no points. And fourth quarter, he made huge plays for us offensively to keep us in the game, and defensively, he has the ability to change the whole course of a game. And you give him credit because even when his shot's not falling, he's making huge plays that impact winning.
Josh, I think they missed 14 straight shot attempts in the fourth quarter. Obviously they kind of unraveled in the first game as well. Can you sense a team unraveling on the court, or a team that's on the ropes, sort of that's kind of ready to take a run on?
Nah, honestly, to be realistic with you, like that doesn't come to mind. Our biggest thing is like, especially when we go on those runs, it's like, all right, let's get a stop.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we noticed that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.